WWE has been on fire since the Trips era has started. Now, with rumors of not only the Motor City Machine Guns signing with WWE, but also the Lucha Brothers, I think it's safe to say the only downside of the Trips era so far has been the tag division, and he's got his chef hat on, and he's about to start cooking with these signings. What better way to announce the arrival of the tag team division, probably for the first time in a long time where it's meaningful, than doing the Dusty Classic on the main roster? I think it's a perfect way to introduce the Motor City Machine Guns and the Lucha Brothers on the main roster. Me and my partner are going to fantasy book what the Dusty Classic would look on the main roster. But first, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the page. Also, let us know in the comments if you think WWE would do the Lucha Brothers justice in the company. All right, now tagging my partner in. If you're booking the Dusty Classic on the main roster, what's it looking like?
For me, I got it split into like two rounds: round on SmackDown, a round on Raw. So starting off with the Raw side, I went with two single stars forming a team, and I think the best bet is Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. And I had them against the Authors of Pain in the first round, and I got the Authors of Pain going over, and I feel like that could set up like Karrion Cross feuding with Jay or Sammy or both, and I feel like that's a good like feud rivalry for the final judgment from the New Day thing. I got New Day versus the Creed brothers with the Creeds winning. I feel like that's a good match. Ultimately, the Creeds would beat AOP, which I think is another great match to go to the finals. SmackDown side, I went with the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly, with the Street Profits winning, and then I debuted the Lucha Bros against DIY. I don't have the machine guns in my Dusty Classic. I feel like the machine guns should be tasked with rebuilding the NXT tag division first. I think that they could work really well down there. And then of course Lucha Bros win. Ultimately, Lucha Bros beat Street Profits, so your final would be the Creeds versus the Lucha Bros. And again, that's another great match, but have Lucha Bros win. And then to kind of like build off of it and get something out of it, I would have Cody involved in the presentation of the trophy at the end. And then like he turns around and like Pentagon can super kick him, and then Pentagon and Phoenix beat down Cody. And you could get like maybe one or two like pay-per-view matches out of Cody feuding with the Lucha Bros for the title. So right away, Lucha Bros come in, they win the Dusty Classic. They earn a tag title match, which would be dope to see Pentagon and Jacob Fatu kind of mix it up. And then they get into WWE title feud with Cody. So I think that's a good launching pad for the Lucha Bros and a good relaunch of the tag division.
A lot of similarities in between our brackets, which is crazy to me because we didn't
We
talk
didn't
about this at
coordinate,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't coordinate it. So opening round for me, I have Lucha Brothers going over AOP. I like the idea that you debut them in a big way where it's like they're these high flyers and they take out the monster powerhouse team of AOP. Then I have Pretty Deadly face Street Profits like you did. To me, they're both tag teams that have it. It's just they're stuck in an era right now where tag teams are meaningless in WWE. I mean, if we had an era where they're meaningful, both these teams would
Yeah,
have it.
exactly.
I have the Street Profits beating Pretty Deadly. Then Lucha Brothers face Street Profits, Lucha Bros to the finals. Now the other side of the bracket, I have Motor City Machine Guns face DIY. I think it introduces the Motor City Machine Guns to the WWE crowd, and I don't really see it for Champa and Gargano, where I do see it in Motor City Machine Guns. I love them. I have them going on to the next round. Then my last matchup of the first round, the Creed brothers, and where I go with my single superstars, I go Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther. I go Gunther wanting to enter this competition to prove that he is the best.
Yeah.
Creed brothers win, and this is where we get Gunther turns on Ludwig because Ludwig eats the pin, and he's like, obviously
Yeah.
you can't be in my stable if you lose. Second round, Creed brothers face Motor City Machine Guns. I have Creed brothers winning. So my final, same as you, Lucha Bros, Creed brothers. I just think that shit is fire. I want to
Yeah.
see
Oh yeah.
those two teams in the ring. And again, I have Lucha Bros winning it. I think they're sick. I think Triple H isn't signing them to just poach people from AEW, but
Right.
instead he's like, I can make money with these guys, and that's what he's going to do. And the Creed brothers are going to get an amazing match out of them. And they have heat where you're introducing the Lucha Bros as the baby face. They're going to be merch sellers for
Oh yeah.
WWE.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like that idea of the machine guns and DIY. I feel like that could be like a banger match. They would work really well together. And I would like DIY to turn heel on the machine guns and then continue that feud after the Dusty Classic. I think that'd be dope. But I think in general, a Dusty Classic on the main roster is the perfect way to like kickstart that resurrection of the tag team division. They have like such a stacked like tag team roster, and they're just not utilizing them.
And the thing, what I did say that we had to make the rule where we put singles wrestlers in there. I think that's what WWE does a lot of times in NXT to create like drama. But the way we did it, I feel like is way better because it creates storylines.
Yeah, with Sammy and Jay, they have that history, and then you could, if you don't have them feud with Final Judgment, you could have them feud with each other. Like Jay could turn on Sammy or whatever, you know. And then your idea, you set up Gunther kicking Kaiser out because they lost. Like that's a cool story too.
What stood out to me about the Sammy and Jay thing is a lot of times they pair them up to be fan favorites and like, oh, this funny comedy duo like Braun Breaker and Corbin, the Broserweights.
Yeah.
You already have it built in with Sammy and Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's already established. So it's not like here's two singles guys for the hell of it. It's an established like thing. Same with Gunther and Kaiser. It's an established thing.
So clearly we both think the Lucha Bros are the shit.
Oh yeah, I think with Ray like Mysterio, he had the masks and he was like the kid friendly thing. To me, Pentagon could be like the anti hero version of that. Like he could be a darker version of Mysterio. I would love to see Pentagon and Rey Mysterio on a big stage.
Do you think that it is a done deal Lucha Bros are going?
I'm hopeful it's a done deal. I'll say that. I don't know if it's a done deal, but I'm hoping it's a done deal. I'm a big fan of Pentagon, and I would love for him to be in WWE.
I think this has to be where Triple H is going if the Motor City Machine Guns have been signed this whole time and still haven't debuted. He must think that
Yeah,
this is going to happen.
yeah.
And the other question is Motor City Machine Guns, Lucha Bros, who does WWE do more with?
I think they do more with the Lucha Bros because of the international appeal. Um, but I think Motor City Machine Guns are best suited for NXT. Like, not only could they revive that division, but you could put these young guys who don't know how to work as a tag team with them. Like, almost like how they have coaches in NXT. Let Alex Shelley and Saban be your, like, tag team coach. Like, teach guys how to work as a tag team, give them ideas for moves. And, like, that's what makes tag team wrestling great is when you get those, like, double team maneuvers and the old school stuff of working as a team and all that, blind tags and all that, like telling the story of a tag team match. Those guys could benefit in NXT. So that's why I had them down there.
That would be cool, and it has been a while too for NXT to have that great tag division as well, and they could revitalize it and
Yeah.
then bring up the future with what you're saying being coaches. All right, in the comments, let us know how a Dusty Classic on the main roster would book out to you, and do you think the Lucha Bros, the Motor City Machine Guns, are going to find success in WWE?